What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 oblique exercises. Okay, so when it comes to working your obliques, you first got to understand what your obliques are. They are basically that muscle running down the side of your abdominal walls, also known as the V lines. Those are your obliques. For those of you who are trying to, let's say, I get a lot of questions from people wondering how to minimize or get your waist smaller. And if that's what you're looking for in this video, that's not what you're going to get. If you're looking to get your waist smaller, you need to focus on actually getting the fat off of your obliques, and that is through diet, cardio, and just putting on more lean muscle on your body so that your metabolism gets faster and faster so that you get rid of that extra fat storage on your body. Whereas if you're actually trying to work your obliques and you're actually trying to build up this muscle, then these are some exercises that you can do. So when it comes to your abdominal muscles, you have to understand that you have your rectus abdominals, which is the six-pack, the muscles running runs right down the center of your abs. Then you have your internal and external obliques, which basically run at an angle down your abs, and then the others actually run the opposite way. And then you have your transverse abdominis, which is basically just acts as a big belt. You don't really see your transverse abdominis. So what I'm going to be doing is hitting my obliques here. And to hit your obliques, the main thing that you have to remember is that it's not just a crunching motion where you bring the top of your body up, and it's not just a motion where you bring the lower part of your body up, or down and up. What you need to be doing actually is implementing a kind of twist and then a crunch, because the twist is what is actually going to help work those muscle fibers that are running in your obliques. So a couple of great exercises that I'm going to be showing you, my top 5. So the first one is just going to be a oblique crunch. You're just going to lay on your side, put your hand out for just stabilization. You don't actually want to push up on your arm at all. What you're going to do, put your other arm behind your head, and you're going to bring your elbow as far down as you can, really focusing on working your oblique muscle up here. So you're going to be opening up a little bit, facing the ceiling, I guess, and then you're going to be crunching. And you can see right there, my obliques, these side walls of my abs are being worked. So that's one way. You really want to focus on pulling through your elbow. You don't want to pull your head and cause some kind of neck issue and not activate your abs. You really want to focus on bringing your body up and driving your upper body to the ceiling. So that's one way. And then the second exercise is a little more advanced variation of this, which is when you're basically going to be bringing your upper body up and also bringing your lower body towards your elbow. So you actually want your knee and your elbow to meet in the air. So that's going to look like this. You can actually bring your lower body off of the ground. You're going to be balancing on your hips here, and you're going to go up to the middle and meet at the top. Right there. Really focusing on squeezing down with the side walls of your abs, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. So that would just be a side oblique crunch. The next one is just a side plank dip, I guess you could say, and you can do this on your elbow. And what I like to do is I like to put my top foot in front and my bottom foot in back, and that way you just have a very good stable base. You can go on your elbow for those of you who are a little more beginner, and then for more advanced people, you can go up on your hand. And then what I like to do is put my other hand behind my head, and then what you want to do is you want to actually dip your hips as low as you can to the ground, really trying to get a stretch on that bottom oblique, and then you want to drive your hips up into the air, really squeezing down on that. So the oblique that you're focusing on is the one that's closest to the ground, because that's the one that you're actually driving your hips up with. So you're going to go all the way down, get the stretch, drive that up in the air, really squeezing down on your oblique muscle right there. Down again, up, drive and squeeze. Down, up, drive, and squeeze. And if you're doing this on your elbow, it's just going to look like this. Down, you're not going to be able to go down as far, and then up, down, up. So that's the side plank dip. The next one is going to be a rotating leg lift. So what this is going to look like is basically you're going to have your hands under your butt. This is going to be for lower back support here. And then what you're going to do is your starting position is actually going to be about here. A lot of times when people are doing leg lifts, they bring their legs all the way down. And when you're bringing your legs from about here to here is primarily hip flexors. And that's not what you're trying to hit here. So, because typically when people do leg lifts, they try to hit lower abs. But really look at hip flexors. I have a different video about that. I'm not talking about it right now. So, hands behind your back. And then what you're going to do, this is your starting position. You're going to go from here, and then you're going to act as if you're just doing some kind of kick up like that. But instead of just keeping your legs straight and kicking straight up to the ceiling, you're actually going to implement a twist in your hips. And that twist is going to be the difference between hitting your lower abs and hitting your obliques. So if you look like this, okay, starting position, twist, 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 twist. Those are a really good one. Actually, I haven't done those in a little while. I just kind of reminded myself how well they really work. So that's another one. And then last but not least is a floor wiper. And this is going to be basically, I wanted to just give you guys the exercises that you can do without any equipment so that you guys can do these at home, in your living room, wherever you are. I am at the gym, but I don't need to be at the gym, I just am. But a floor wiper is basically where you're going to be acting like your legs are windshield wipers going back and forth, so you're going to be back on your back. And like I said, this is probably the more beginner version of this exercise. You can actually do this exercise hanging from a pull-up bar, and these are just basically just windshield wipers hanging from a pull-up bar, but it's a lot harder. So I would recommend starting with this. Once these are easy, then working to the hanging windshield wipers. So it's going to look like this. You're going to have your legs straight up in the air, arms out to the side. Your arms out to the side are not to push your body back and forth. So your legs are going to be going down to one side. You're going to stop about an inch off the ground, over to the other side, an inch off the ground. And your arms are going to be there just so that you don't, because if my arms aren't there, I just roll over and I can't really get myself back up. So your arms are here to keep your shoulders facing the ceiling, facing up the entire time. Your shoulders do not turn at all. You want to keep your shoulders right in the same position, and then you're going to drop your feet down to one side, about an inch off the ground, squeeze back up, down to the other side. And when it comes to these floor wipers, you are focusing on pulling your feet with the upper oblique. So when my legs are down to my left, I'm pulling my legs up with my right oblique. So I'm pulling up with my right oblique, going down to the other side, getting a stretch in my left oblique, pulling up with my left oblique. Down to the other side, getting a stretch in my right oblique, pulling up with my right oblique. So, try those out next time you guys are going to hit abs. If you guys are trying to get that V cut, I would recommend implementing these a couple times a week, maybe every other day, maybe every 3 days. And if you like these exercises, I actually have a free fitness quiz where basically you answer a couple of questions so that we can figure out exactly where you are, what your metabolic rate is, what your metabolic type is, what your body type is, and then it spits out a couple tips for your body type, and then also gives you an option to continue on with the program that was actually made for what you probably struggle with. So if you want to check that out, you can just check it out by clicking the link in the description below. Other than that, make sure you are clicking the thumbs up button below if you like this video. That way I know to keep making videos like this. I don't really make that many ab videos, but you guys have been asking, so this is for you. If you guys have any other recommendations for videos, if you have any comments, if you have any questions or concerns, make sure you're commenting them in the section below. There's no trolling. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.